Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to 9 episode 4. In the previous video, we saw a side of Yuki that I didn't think existed. I'm pretty sure we can all agree that the side of Yuki we saw in the previous video just sort of seemed like a completely different character. Like there really is no other way to describe it other than just unexpected, surprising, and just, you know, who is this girl? Because it is not the person that we have known for like 3 whole episodes, especially in the first one where she was very protective, defense, I don't know, she just didn't want anything to do with us until the very end, and even then it was kind of pushing it. She is really opening up to us here, and we are seeing so much of her that just it's hard to connect the dots, really. It is so much so that it's got me speechless. Anyways, here we are after the, I guess, attempts of watching a scary movie, because she doesn't do well with ghosts whatsoever. Also, I'm like very tired. I just woke up from like an extended nap, so yeah, get ready for that. I don't know where that will lead us. Apparently, it wasn't even that scary. Like it was obvious where things were coming from. Like a jump scare could still be, you know, a spooky jump scare because, well, they're, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about jump scares. They are such a weak direction for a scary movie, but they are always pretty effective because even if you expect something, they can still kind of get you. But it's such a it's a cheap. That's the word I'm looking for. It's cheap. She wipes her tears with the back of her hand.
Mission complete ね。涙目でドヤ顔してもかっこよくないぞ。辛辣。ほんと大丈夫か？今日一人で寝られるか？夜トイレ行けるか？バカにしてる？してるよ。舐められたものね。今日は絶対眠れないし、トイレも無理。完膚なきまでに崩れたな。
Yeah, very much so. That thing is gone.
今さら気取っても滑稽なだけだし。
If anything, we're seeing a cute side of Yuki, because she has lowered her defenses. As I said, she always was very protective and had her defenses pretty high up for herself way earlier on, but slowly but surely we've kind of broken down the barriers, especially here in episode 4, where right off the bat she trusted us. So we're starting to see a side that she would just never show anybody else, and that is truthful. She says this in a sulky tone as she lies down on the floor and buries her face in the throw pillow. Honestly, if this ends up, you know, helping us out with our overall goal of taking down Iris and getting Yuki through the troubles that she has from her past, I mean, we have to be all for it, right?
そっか。ならよかった。子供の頃に戻った気分。違う。大人のふりをしていただけね。理想の自分を演じていれば、余計なこと考えなくていいから楽だった。かっこつけるのやめて。ボロボロにメッキを剥がれて残ったのは子供の私。結局あの頃から成長できてなかった。反応に困ってる？
A little bit.
少し。こういう時。
No, this is a very sensitive situation. And yeah, she is truly opening up to us here.
もっと困らせていい？あ。妹がって言ってるけど、ちょっとずつ薄れてる。
You know, as depressing as that is, I think that's normal. I do think that that is a normal thing to happen, because that means that you are slowly but surely moving on. Not forgetting her, but you're moving on from the incident. You're allowing it, or you're not allowing it, to affect you as much as it has been over all these years. And that's also normal.
ちょっとずつちょっとずつ
So it's hard to remember people, you know, like consistently over the years. There's just no way. But even for those that you've lost, yes, you will surely, you know, forget how they looked, how they spoke, a lot of their mannerisms, how they live their life. And that's just true for everybody. You know, there's just no way around it. It's how we grow. And yeah, you can see it as a way of moving on, I'm sure.
悲しいとか寂しいとかそういう気持ちも決して消えないけどそんな自分が許せない。私が妹の死を連想させるものに過剰な反応を示すのはそんな罪悪感もって散々泣きじゃくってそう思った。こんな自己分析あまり意味はなさそうだ。
No. There's always a point to, like, you know, looking deep down within yourself.
意味ないってことはないと思うけどな。あんまり無責任なこと言えねえけど。
言葉にするだけで
なんつうかこういう話親とはしないのか。
しない。多分パパとママもあの日から動けずにいる。
Yeah, that's also a difficult part. But another thing that you can think about is that moving on together as a family, you know? I think that's a huge thing that could be done for sure. But if you allow yourself to not, you know, properly talk with your parents about how you feel, and they can talk to you about how they feel, and you guys can, you know, work as a team to move forward, then you guys are possibly stagnating yourselves.
交通事故の被害者の支援とかを積極的にしてる。私とは違う形で妹を殺した悪と戦ってる。家族みんな縛られているからとても話せない。
そっか。
かけるに相談できるようになって。
Yeah, at least you're talking with somebody. If it's not your parents, then, you know, at least it's somebody.
弱いところを見せられる人ができて。
もっといいこと言えたらいいんだけどな。
聞いてくれるだけで助かるし。
And, you know,
遠慮なく
a lot
接し
of
てくれるのも
a lot of issues can probably be, well, not resolved, but you can get past them through just talking with somebody. You know, find that person in your life that, you know, friend, family member, whoever, that is willing to hear you out. They probably will not know what the fuck to say. I've been in that position on both sides. Just being able to have somebody there that is willing to listen to you means a whole lot. And a big thing also is just speaking. You know, we all have problems in our lives. If you can speak them aloud, it allows you to kind of, you know, force your brain to look at it in a different way than just, you know, talking in your brain or whatever. You don't really see or can't really identify a lot of things until you speak aloud.
今まではそうだな。ぶっちゃけると若干とっつきづらかった。
I am kind of talking out of my ass though.
知ってる。
Personal experiences.
みんな
That's all I
大体
got.
そう。
でもあんな情けないところ見ちゃったらな。もう俺の中でノアは空と同じカテゴリーにいる。
それ
Yeah, that's not
バカに
nice.
してる？
Come on now.
半分は。
やっぱり辛辣。
俺気を許した相手には結構きついこと言うっぽいから覚悟しといてくれ。
気を許す。うん。
それとまあ冗談も言うけどさ、本気で笑ったりはしないから。だからカッコつけなくていい。自然体でいい。呼ばれだって吐いてくれ。俺もこれからは
Is she
遠慮
falling
とかせず。
asleep? She's asleep. I sort of, you know, was gonna mention this earlier, but like it sort of did seem like she was kind of drifting off. Her voice was getting softer and softer and softer. I can hear tiny snoring sounds. She probably tuckered herself out from all that crying. Looks like she's fallen right to sleep. We still have our bed, right?
結構いいこと言えた。
That hasn't been taken from us like in previous episodes, right? I stand up with a wry smile, pulling a blanket from off the shelf and gently draping it over her. She looks so innocent when she's sleeping. She also looks really young, In my mind, Noa has already gone from a member of the opposite sex to another little sister of mine. No, sister isn't right. Maybe niece? A grade school niece that I'm suddenly taking care of? That sounds offensive, but that's more of the vibe I'm getting. She's gone from a cool chuny to a somewhat ditzy airhead, and finally a degenerate crybaby. We're really, leveling down here with her. Well, Noa, you're in luck. Thanks to your efforts, my mental image of you has been diving further and further down, just like you wanted. Is this okay, though? I'm sure it's fine to her. She's reevaluating herself and facing her trauma. Noa is trying so hard to move forward. But is that okay? Yes. Fuck yes, it's okay. In my mind, at least. As I look at her sleeping, I can't help but think that. I walk away from Noa's side and slightly hesitate over turning off the lights. She'll be okay. I end up lowering the lights since I figure she won't be able to sleep soundly without it so bright, or with it so bright. I exit the living room and enter into the kitchen. Are we gonna sleep in here? What are we gonna do? I shut the door and then lean against the wall.
Sophie.
No, we're gonna talk to Sophie. Interesting. As soon as I ask, space distorts.
何か用？
聞きたいことがある。
教えられることなら教えてあげる。
眷属化ってやつ。
Sophie's expression stiffens up.
なぜ？
ノアと話して思ったんだ。
本来なら反対する理由はないのだけど。
But...
眷属化のリスク。ちゃんと知った上で言ってる？
リスクがあること自体は知ってる。どんなリスクかは知らない。
Yeah, let's get the entire package of information here if possible.
拒否反応が出るかもしれない。最悪死ぬわよ。
そうなったらやり直す。
自分の命には無頓着ね。
それしか武器がない。
Yeah, not really the direction I was hoping that we would go in there, but yeah, I guess when we're that determined.
リスクはそれだけか。
感染症。
Oh.
は？
アーティファクトを体内に取り込んだものの血液、あるいは体液を取り込む。何か病気を持っていれば、あなたにもうつるわよ。っていう単純な話。
Yeah, okay. No, that's totally fair. You guys know why it's very important not to get other people's blood on you and everything, right?
なんだ。
そんなことってあなたね。健康にも無頓着ね。
Yeah, just
それ
because
ともこ
like
ちらの世界には不治の病なんてないのかしら。
just because somebody isn't like publicly showing off that they're, experiencing some sort of sickness, disease, whatever, they may have something going on constantly. Like it's just something they live with and you don't really realize it, that won't really, work with you all that well.
あるけど、ノアはどう見ても健康だし、心配する
It's not like we're trying to spread AIDS around though here. I don't think at
あなた
least.
たちを気遣って伏せていたのがバカらしく思えてくるわね。侵食のリスクが上がるのよ。
Ooh.
だから教えたくなかった。
Ooh. Yeah, that's also not good.
そうか。ノアにもリスクがあるなら。
そもそもあなた、ノアの能力を理解してるの？
No.
イーリスを確実に殺せるってことくらいは。
We still know nothing about her power.
その程度の理解
Other than
で
it
よ
can
く自
target
分の
people
命を
really
かけら
well.
れるわね。
ノアなりに理由があって話したくないみたいなんだ。大事なことは分かっているから無理に聞き出す必要は。
罪を
Uh-oh.
裁くこと。
Noah's voice from the living room interrupts my sentence. We are being kind of loud in here. We're literally right next door. I slowly open the door.
起きてたのか。
Noah continues without responding to my questions.
G オーダーはその名の通り秩序の番人。私が罪人だと認識した者に罰を与える。罪のない者には発動できない。
Oh, sweet Yuki. We all have sin somewhere deep
ど
inside.
んな罰を与える
That's
か
why
は
we need to defeat
私
sin.
の裁量によって決まる。
Save the world for another 10 years.
人を殺した者に軽い罰を与えることもできれば、逆に些細な嘘をついた程度で首をはねることもできる。それが G オーダーのすべて。
You know, the clues have always been there, I suppose. After declaring that, she silently shuts her eyes.
能力を明かしたのは最大限の信頼の証だと思ってほしい。私はカケルを信頼している。誰よりも
Wow. What a statement.
だから
She lets out a short sigh, opens her eyes, and glares at me.
もう二度とふざけたこと言わないで。
Oh.
そんな気遣い私を侮辱してる。あなたに全部押し付けるほど私は弱くない。
悪かった。
あなたはもう背負った。だから次は私が背負う。
Honestly, it is very possible that a lot of these characters are realizing that we've kind of gone through the ringer a little bit here. You know, having to go back and do everything again multiple times, you know, re-experiencing things and just trying to figure out the solution. It's definitely going to take that toll on you mentally. She takes a step closer to me.
二人で背負うの。
Oh, I like that statement. She looks up at me, stands on her tiptoes, and grabs me by the collar.
分かった。
She really that short?
ああ。わかった。もう勝手なことはしない。
I place my own hands on top of her tiny ones as they grip my collar.
悪かったよ。
まだ文句は終わってない。
何でも聞く。
電気消さないで。怖いでしょ。
Okay, I think we've got through the you know, required, necessary, important, whatever you want to say, complaints here.
起きた瞬間泣きそうになったんだから。
Oh, come on, you should have been able to hear us.
すみません。
We were right there.
侮辱されたことよりこっちの方にムカついてるから。
はい、すみませんで。
分かればいい。
She lets go of me roughly and gives me a pouty face.
血は喧嘩は終わった？
Yeah.
チワではないけど終わった。信用してるし。私は健
I
康
mean,
体。
you may say that you're
感
healthy
染
and
症の心
everything,
配はおそらくない。
but I'm you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not really, you know, very knowledgeable in this field whatsoever. Anything medical, I have no fucking idea, and I'm just talking out of my ass. But yeah, if anybody knows anything about, you know, sharing blood with another person, let me know. I do know that, like, you know, blood type is also an important factor. Would that be, you know, necessary here?
リスク分散の意味でも。
I mean, I guess in this case, we're just ingesting blood.
ただ、かける
We're
が
not
一
trying
人
to
で
like
背負おうと
shoot
す
it
る
into
のは
our
気に
veins and
食わない
shit.
し、
Are we?
拒否反応というリスクもあるのならダメ。
と言ってるけど。
ノアに従う。
そう、わかった。罪人と認めた者に効果を及ぼす。似たような特性を持つアーティファクトがないか一応探しておくわ。
助かるよ。頼む。
それじゃあね。血は喧嘩はほどほどに。
Oh, come on.
だからチワじゃない。
Not yet, at least. Before Noah can finish her sentence, Sophie disappears. We're all by ourselves again. It's kind of awkward.
着替える。
わかった。
Noah heads to the living room alone. I wait for a few minutes.
終わった。
I go back into the living room.
帰る。今日はありがとう。
No, what a very eventful, you know, afternoon bunch of activities here. Just not really what I expected in terms of training or whatever the fuck, but it was something.
ああ、うん。悪かった。
その話はもう終わった。でも、あえて言うなら、私はあなたと対等でいたいの。守ってほしいわけじゃない。それは覚えておいて。
肝に銘じておく。
うん。また明日。
Oh, absolutely.
あ、いいよ。
Yeah, compared to Sora, you're not annoying. I mean, you may not be as useful and, you know, super ridiculously, you know, fucking kind like Kujo, and to an extent also Kosuka, but no, you're cool.
ありがとう。お菓子ほとんど手をつけてないけど。
置いてっていいぞ。荷物とかも。持って帰るの大変そうだし。
じゃあ、置いてく。
そういえば明日みんなで集まるかも。高峰が話し合いをしたがってた。
He was?
昨日の能力者の件。
今後のこともだな。
わかった。
時間とか決まったら連絡する。
うん。それじゃあ。
All right. I see Noah to the door.
一人で帰れるか？
帰れる。
俺夕飯食べに行くし、 ついでに送ってくぞ。
Yeah, what time is it?
帰れるってば。
本当か？
子供扱いしないで。
中身子供だろ。
She puts on her shoes as she grumbles in frustration.
一人で帰る。
What a funny
黙って
character.
ついてきたりしないで。
わかったわかった。
絶対に来ないで。
わかったって。
お邪魔しました。
またな。
うん。また明日。
Well, I would like to say that this afternoon was a success. We accomplished something. Noa leaves my apartment, the door shutting behind her. We only spent a few hours together, but we covered a lot. An insult, huh? Well, she's got a point. I might have overestimated myself. Noa isn't someone who I need to, she isn't someone who I need to protect. She's a teammate who will fight alongside me. And I'll make sure not to forget that.
さて。
I'm hungry, so I should go get some grub. Who the fuck is coming up now? Just as I'm about to go back to the living room to grab my wallet, the intercom rings. I open the door with a good hunch as to who it is. You good? There she is. She looks really embarrassed.
どうした？
I already have an idea, but I try asking anyway.
忘れ物？
送って。
Yep. Alright, she's scared.
怖い。一人無理。
最初から素直になればいいのに。
笑わないで。
She probably didn't realize it from the start.
財布取ってくる。
She's an equal partner, but yeah, she's basically my niece. Let's not throw a family, title on her right now. Let's really not do that. I've seen the direction that these games go. I go back to the living room with an awkward smile and I shove my wallet and phone into my pants pocket.
行こう。
ありがとう。
We leave the apartment together. This is a side of Noa that she would never show me in the other branches. A vulnerable side that only I know of. She would probably never show it to the others. It's kinda giving me a superiority complex. These few hours together with Noa have changed my feelings and impressions of her in a big way. Even as we walk side by side now, I feel sort of...
何食べるの？
まだ決めてない。一緒に食うか？
やめておく。夕飯いらないってママに言ってないから。
Yeah, that's fair.
そっか。
On edge. I mean, I feel great. I don't really know what to expect out of her still. She's still a bucket of mysteries, but that's what makes these episodes here so much fun. You just never know. You never know with all these... Shut the fuck up. You never know with all these wild, colorful characters what you're going to get out of them next. Takamine spreads his arms out in an exaggerated manner. We've all got our drinks from the drink bar and ordered some things to nosh on. We're fully prepared. I want to jump right into the case with the user from the day before, but before I do, there's just one little thing that I want to make a comment on.
あのさ、高峰。
どうした？ああ、すまん。つい仕切ってしまった。リーダーは結城くんだったな。
いや、そうじゃなくて。なんて制服？
Wait, is today a Sunday?
そのことか。
A
気にする
weekend?
な。着る服がなくてな。
ない。私服持ってない。
Wait, is this basically his way of saying that they don't have a sprite with him wearing just regular ass clothes?
当然あるが、仲間と一緒のファミレス、ドレスコードというものがあるだろ？
No?
いやねえよ。反射的にきつめに突っ込んじゃった。先輩なのにすみません。
気にしなくていい。私服はあるが、ふさわしい服がなくてな。
His sprite just doesn't...
制服だ。
He doesn't have another, variation of his sprite for like a different, outfit. That's all there is to it. I'm pretty goddamn sure. I've been in the game for a little while now, guys. I think I know how it all goes down.
もういい？
あ、はい、大丈夫です。
先日の件報告する。再び暴走した能力者が私たちの前に現れた。
私の力を実験した日ですよね。
That is correct.
そうです。あの日に調べようと思ってたんですけど、別れ際に話さなくてすみません。
はい、大丈夫です。電車の中で寝ちゃって、乗り
No, we don't want to push anybody either.
役に立てなか
That'll
った
just lead to more complications, I would think.
暴走した能力者って私の存在が消滅するとかそういう感じになるってこと
Yeah, something like that.
でしょうね。
Wow, she guessed how she would go, you know, if she overused her powers and went berserk or whatever.
怖っ何それ怖っ
むやみやたらと使うなよ。
使わない使わない絶対使わない
不安。
そういえば実験とか言ってたけど私に使うなっていうのに高坂先輩には使わせたの
先輩は大丈夫。
なんで
この中で唯一アーティファクトを完璧に使いこなしたから。
Which is really wild.
敵私がですか
はい。
暴発させまくってますけど何かの間違いでは
I think that's only because, you know, of how she feels. Not necessarily as a side effect of her power, but if she feels, you know, too nervous or anxious or whatever and she wants to hide away, then the other personality will show up. That's just the power kind of working as expected.
マジです。他の枝の話ではありますけど、先輩は俺たちの先を行きます。
私が
はい。先輩がです。ソフィーも驚く領域に到達します。
私なんかが
先輩はうちのエースです。自信を持ってください。強い心がアーティファクトの掌握につながりますから。
Yeah, truthfully. If she gains the courage she needs, like, she is a force to be reckoned with.
強い心か
悠長に鍛錬などできんな。実践で鍛え上げるしかない。
You know, from what I've seen through all of the events that have popped up here in this series, it seems the true way to get stronger is to strengthen your spirit or your soul or whatever, which means everybody needs to sit down, look at themselves in the mirror, and figure out what issues they've got going on. For Kosuka, really her only barrier is confidence in herself and the courage to, you know, accept who she is. Well, I guess her personalities overall. And that allowed her to be in full ass sync with her artifact. And it was beautiful. She really turned the tides. And now there's just no concern of, you know, her going berserk. She's totally okay. So everybody's got to try and figure out what other or whatever problems they have going on.
実践またユーザーが暴走する他の枝ってのだとどうなのって聞いても知らないか幽霊の話もニーに知らなかったよね
ああ、他の枝の記憶は役に立たないな。ただあと一つ把握できてるアーティファクトがある。魂の力で作った
Oh yeah.
めちゃくちゃ攻撃的な能力だ。次イリスが接触するとすればそのユーザーだと思うんだけど。
Yeah, if this user was the one that was able to, you know, warp around or whatever, and, you know, obviously we know about the evil eye, then the only other one is definitely the spears.
能力者を探すことも接触を止めることもできない。
そうなっちゃうな。
結局待つしかないってこと
ああ、悔しいけど。
あと一つか。存外 AF ユーザーは少ないようだな。
Oh no, there's more.
大混乱
There's definitely more.
思ってたんですが
ああ、静かだ。ユーザーが大勢生まれていれば、調子づく者も少なからず現れるだろう。
You know, it's also probably a trickling thing. Sora didn't get hers until like the day after the fire incident, supposedly. You know, at least that's the pattern in all the branches that we've, you know, seen. So that might be the case here, is that it's like on a day-to-day basis that more and more people are getting powers.
そもそも数が少ないのか、意外とみんな冷静なのかもなんて俺も考えてはいたんだけど、もしかしたら何か悪さする前に暴走してたなんてこともありえるのかもな。
That's a pretty good possibility, actually.
そっか火事の件が特殊だとすれば私たちの知らないところで暴走して
そう、ありえる。
あとは
いや、
I hesitate to finish my sentence. It's likely that Yuichi was hunting down users before they could even commit any crimes or go berserk. Now, I definitely thought that. On the flip side, the fact that users are going berserk in this branch is proof that Yuichi isn't doing anything in secret, but...
なあ、高峰。
なんだ、
陽一と連絡は取っているか？
今日のことも知らせてはいる。だが、未だ返事はないな。
He may be telling the truth in that he just has no fucking interest whatsoever here. And if that's the case, great. He gets to stay out of trouble, which is good for him, and he definitely stays away from being a criminal, which is good for us.
本気でもう関わるつもりはないよね。
だろう。
なんていうか、破滅願望？
他者への攻撃衝動はあるかもしれんな。
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the happiest around right now. As we've learned a little bit in the previous episode, he has some complications, as Takamine has kind of hinted towards us.
普段の深澤くんの様子からは、そんな衝動があるなんて全然ピンとこないです。
余一は賢い。当然隠すし、取り繕う。偽りの自分を演じることなどお手の物だ。
And you know, putting on that mask.
過去に何かあったの？
何もない。家族関係は冷え切っているようだが、束縛や干渉を嫌う余一はむしろそれを歓迎している。
I'm sure there's more to
私
it.
と違って友人も多い。恋人らしき異性も大勢いたし、今もいるのだろう。ただ、人と違って生まれた。生来、禁忌されることに魅力を感じた。
He just wants to do wrong.
たったそれだけだ。
それだけ？
そう。それだけだ。私のような人間は、きっと高坂君も結城君もそうだろう。理由を求める。納得するに足る理由をな。物語とはそういうものだからだ。
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, how else are we supposed to think about it? How can we consider anything if we have nothing to go by?
だが現実は違う。
We want to understand.
カッとなった。たったそれだけで見ず知らずの人間を害する。自分たちが理解できる枠組みに余一を当てはめようとするのはやめることだ。
It would actually be wild and, you know, something I would actually appreciate the boldness of if episode 4 went the entire way without Yuichi really having a place whatsoever except for being back to comedic relief. And that he was simply put into a position where he killed somebody and, well, he crossed that line, so he continued to cross the line and become the overall bad guy as much as he could. And, you know, now that he is not wanting to be involved, maybe he just quite literally won't. And he just will not show up. He'll just, you know, go back to his corner. And as sad as all that kind of sounds, that would be pretty goddamn real. That would actually be a fucking real ass direction.
どうせ永遠に納得などできない。
深く理解しているのね。
言っただろう。私にも理解などできん。だが腐れ縁だからな。私は余一の味方だ。
彼がイーリスと手を組み、世界を破滅に導いても？
ああ、その通りだ。そうなった時、私は君たちの敵となる。
Well, we know where his heart lies, still even here in this episode.
言い切った。
少なくとも今は仲間だからな。嘘はつかない。
He's
それが私なりの誠意だ。
He's a weird character, you know.
わかった。あなたが敵となったその時はためらわない。
そうしてくれ。私もそうする。
Takamine says without an ounce of hesitation. Yeah, that's just how Takamine operates. He's a weird guy, but he has a kind of purity that I can honestly respect.
それで、これからどうするの？
Kujo probably wants to clear the tension in the air. She tries to veer the conversation to the next topic in a slightly awkward manner.
またユーザーが暴走したら、うわ、どうすんの？すでに積んでない？
We're backed into a bit of a corner, but I think we'll be okay.
まあ、
We
多
still
分な
have
いけ
some
ど
advantages that have been
イーリス
created
が逃げ
here.
に徹することは。
先日も無警戒に私たちの前に現れた。イーリスは私たちのことを完全に舐めている。
hence being somewhat backed into a corner.
また現れる可能性は非常に高い。親の庇護下で暮らす学生である以上、それも難しい。勝利への道のりはなかなかに険しいわね。
Yeah, but I have a good feeling that we'll figure something out here in this one.
その辺は俺が何とかできるかもな。イーリスがいつ現れるか分かったら、記憶を過去に飛ばしてみんなに知らせる。
あなたこそ平気なの？
Fuck no.
何が？
すでに何度も力を使っているんでしょ？おまけに生物を2つ持っている。
That is a good question. While he doesn't necessarily hold Overlord, that's kind of, 9 us, whatever the fuck. Isn't there a bit of a limit? I'm sure that there has to be repercussions somewhere. Whether that be a mental toll or actually something that kills Kakeru.
体への負担は？
今のところ大丈夫。問題なし。
Yeah, that's what they all say.
そう。ならいい。もしもの時はお願い。
ああ、任せろ。
話はまとまったようだが。
他に何かある？
いや、何？私が数に入っていなかったと思ってな。
Well, yeah, you're not a user.
あなたは能力者ではないし、裏切る予定なんでしょ
Takamine crosses his arms downtrodden. Jeez, he sure doesn't like being left out.
とりあえず、
I mean, I want him to be a part of the team too,
結
but
局待機するだけって結論
he
にな
kind
った
of
け
made
ど。
his, his shit kind of, public here that he's willing to dip the fuck out and betray us, so I don't think it's gonna happen, but yeah, he needs to get his priorities a little bit straightened here. Something odd strikes me and I cut off my sentence. Wait, there is a way. There is a way to draw out Iris. The World's Eye. Iris can't synchronize with Miss Naruse if she doesn't have the World's Eye. She absolutely needs Miss Naruse's body in order to exert any power in this world. The World's Eye is a lifeline to Iris in a certain sense. She's sure to come out if we try to steal or destroy it. Even if Iris doesn't show up, that will make for a good opportunity anyway. We can destroy the World's Eye. Now that we know that we can beat her even in her illusory body, there's no reason to let her link with Miss Naruse. If we can destroy it, we can avoid fighting with that version of Iris. Either way would shift the balance in our favor, but
何けど、
ああ、悪い。
I cut off my thoughts. I consider explaining this to the others, but I feel like I'm still overlooking something important, so I don't. I'll talk to Sophie about it first. If we rush at Iris with reckless abandon, it'll be total destruction in the truest sense.
そのためにはしっかりと栄養を取らんとな。高坂君、
Oh my god.
全然手をつけていない
You
だろ。
and your fucking
さあ、
french fries.
ポテトフライをたらふく食べるといい。
Look, they're good. And honestly, a lot of, french fries from restaurants and diners and shit, they tend to be pretty bomb.
いただきます。はーい、唐揚げ頼んでもいいですか？
唐揚げか。素晴らしいな。ぜひ頼んでくれ。
Oh boy.
じゃあ頼みます。他に何かあれば。
私はいい。おかわり取ってくる。
私も。ニーニーは何か食べる？
じゃあ、ピザ。
ピザか。素晴らしい。さすがだな、
These are
新見
just
兄弟。
regular, basic ass foods, my man.
何が？
気にしなくていい。頼んどいて。俺もおかわり取ってくる。
I grab my glass and get up. In the other branch, we first met Iris synced with Miss Naruse around the end of April if memory serves. Assuming that the World's Eye will finish self-regenerating by then, well, that's the window of time in which we can fight Iris in her illusory form. But something tells me that that's too big of an assumption. Maybe I should consider that Iris already has a certain degree of control over Miss Naruse's body. Honestly, that's exactly what I think. In any case, I need to talk this over with Sophie. Not only is our opponent strong, our options are meager. God, I can't stand this. No, there's definitely, I feel like something that we're missing out on here, and maybe talking with Sophie will help. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, we will save it there, and we'll wrap up this video. And since it's been a little bit, how is the Overlord screen here going? We're making some progress here. We're making a nice straight line. I don't know if this tells us how much more we have to go or anything like that, but we're still quite at the tippity top here, so we're still kind of just grinding everything out. And again, I don't know if these kind of line up with like the days and everything, but you know what? It kind of looks like it. So this was the 20th, 21st, or maybe this was the 19th, 20th. We're on the 23rd, so yeah, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Maybe. Then down here, it gets a little bit more complicated. I do think that we like skip a full ass week in episode 1. I could be wrong. I don't think these are like based on the days, but yeah, a bit of a timeline overall. Either way, we're still very much, I feel, in the tippity top of the beginning of this story. We have a long way to go to try and figure out how we're going to solve this one after so long. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. And I'm about to fucking choke on nothing. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.